Hey there, Brian at setthepacetriathlon.com. We are here this week talking about race clothing. Excuse me. So, there are so many different options out there, and it's not even funny, but I'm going to hone in and talk specifically what I found works for me over time and what I would recommend to other athletes. So, there's kind of an order of progression. So you're working at the sprint level, the Olympic level, 70.3 at 140.6. Now the 140.6 and 70.3 level is kind of, I group them the same. And once you get to Olympic to sprint, for me it's all the same at this point. But for athletes, there might be some different kind of categories you're thinking about. So the big thing is going to be, are you going to go between? Well, there's probably three. Are you going to go try specific clothing, or are you going to go, bike specific clothing on the bike and then run specific clothing on the run? Now, if you're doing a sprint or an Olympic, or you're doing a 70.3, there's really not an opportunity to do a full change. So what you're in is what you're in. For the guys, you can do a change on the top. For gals, you probably could change the top as long as you had a sports bra underneath, but there's no public nudity because you're open to spectators. So for a sprint and for an Olympic distance triathlon, what you start with is what you're going to end up with. So I would definitely recommend, like I said, I'm at the one piece tri suit phase. Um, you could go. I would definitely recommend the tri specific clothing for a sprint or an Olympic, and probably 70.3 as well. I think that will get you to the finish line sufficiently. It'll do plenty of things for you, and like I said, you can't do a change. So if you've got tri-specific clothing, you can bike in it and you can run in it and it stays comfortable. The big difference is the pad is going to be smaller, so you can actually run in it. So maybe you could go, tri shorts and then a bike top. And then when you get to transition, you can change the bike top to a run top of some sort, and keep the tri shorts because the pad will be smaller and you can run and it won't be a problem. I did do my first 70.3 in cycling clothing, so cycling jersey and cycling shorts. I lived to tell about it. It wasn't exactly comfortable, but at that point in time, my bike shorts were so worn down that they were kind of thin anyway, so it wasn't a big problem. But if you're using bike-specific shorts, it's going to be really uncomfortable on the run and probably look a little awkward too, especially if you're dousing yourself with water and that pad absorbs a little bit of water, being kind of interesting. It also could cause some friction issues. If you got friction, you got moisture. And if that pad's retaining moisture, the pad and the saddle, then you're going to have problems on the run. So I would recommend try specific clothing. Yes, the pad's a little bit smaller, but if you do all your training in that try specific clothing, get used to the pad on the bike, it's not going to really be a problem. So let's put that one to bed. Let's do tri specific clothing because we're doing triathlons. So then there is the one piece tri suit, and then there's the two piece kit. And like I mentioned before, if you want to change the top for some reason, then a two piece is a good way to go. Personally, I wear all my clothing underneath my wetsuit if I use a wetsuit or a speed suit for the swim. So before, when I was using two piece kits, I'd put it on because once you get wet, it's hard to put that top on. So I would recommend whatever you're going to use, that's what you're using for the entire race and wear it the entire time, or else you're going to spend a little bit of time wrestling with it in T1, and there's nothing more frustrating than not being able to get your tie top on in T1 because you have to have it on before you start the bike. They won't let you go out topless and put it on later. So I still go out and ride in two-piece gear, but there is a little bit of leeway in there, or not leeway, but there's a little bit of a reason not to use one piece anymore for me. Specifically, if you're doing longer events, you get that little uh, section right there at the waistline that if you don't put sunscreen on, you're going to get that little eyelet sunburn kind of thing across your back. And then usually two-piece tri-kits are sleeveless on the top, so there could be a little bit of friction on the seams on the underside of your arm. So when you're running, especially if you got heat, you got moisture, you're going to get some little bit of friction burns on there. And there's also, if you don't use a speed suit or a wetsuit, with a two-piece, you've got more opportunities to kind of cause drag in the water. With a tri-suit, it's just one suit all the way, and you're good to go. But I like to wear a speed suit over because if you've got pockets even in your tri-suit, there's opportunity for drag to be created with water. But I have, like I said, we're gonna go onto the deep end and talk about seriously one piece tri suits, because if you look behind me, you've got Zoot, which I'm part of Team Zoot this year again. So they've got the Ultra Tri Suit, which I think is the top of the line. It's got everything that I have ever wanted in tri suit. I've had different Zoot tri suits before, and some had what I wanted, like good pockets and good seams, and good padding and good fit. And usually they all have good fit, but the pockets weren't right. Like if you want to go over a ride at home, your phone wouldn't fit in the back pocket very well, but they fixed that. It's now one big pocket in the back. Your phone will fit there. They got side pockets. They've got the full zip in the front, and it opens up. So for us guys, you no longer have to take your top off of your tri suits if you want to stop, like porta potty and go to the restroom, or something like that, or before the race, if you zip it up, you're like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. It's not like, well, you're just gonna have to hold it because it takes forever to get your top off. Now you just unzip it and you can go to the restroom. You can put your aquaphor on the saddle area, whatever you got to do. You've got access. I love the thing. I've tried it out. Follow me on Instagram. Look at my Facebook page for pictures of the Team Zoot Ultra Suit that I'll be wearing this year. Went to a size large because my torso is pretty long and it's pulled up the inseam a little bit. So I had problems with my suits always kind of riding up on my legs. Not a problem this year. I've already done a few training rides on the trainer, and it stays right where it does, where it's supposed to, and got no problems. The one piece tri suits, it gives you sun protection. So it's breathable fabric, so the moisture wicks away from your body. It does not cause friction issues. It doesn't allow you to overheat. You can pour water on. It kind of keeps there and keeps you cool. It does everything. I mean, and I've worn dark tri suits and not had a problem with overheating because they were black. Team Zoot last year, the tri tops had some black in them, and it wasn't a problem. Didn't really feel like it was attracting any more sun than any other fabric. Very breathable, but gave you sunscreen protection, so you didn't get sunburnt where the suit was at. You didn't have to worry about sunscreen on your shoulders and stuff, just the neck and the face, and you're good to go. So that's what I would recommend is the one piece tri suit. They've come a long way. Back in 2000, I was looking at my medals up there. I think back in 2010 or 11, I've tried tri suits for a little bit, and they didn't fit good around the waist. It felt like it was just one stretched piece of fabric from your legs to your waist or legs to shoulders, and it felt like you're kind of floating around in there. No longer the case. They've put in a waistline, so it feels comfortable. It feels like you're actually wearing a two-piece tri-kit. It feels like you're wearing tri-shorts and a tri-top, but it's a suit. It's all one. Gives you more aerodynamics on the bike. It kind of sucks in the circumference of your body, so there's not as much wind interference, or even on the swim, you got a little bit of less drag in the tri-suit. So that's kind of the first level I would go with. And like I said, I use it for all distances now. Tri-suit, one piece, all the way. Like I said, Zoot's kind of my go-to. The Ultra Tri-suit is the best, I think, right now in the game. Like I said, I've tried a few others in the past, like Orca and some other ones. They just did not fit comfortable and just didn't do what I wanted them to. I'm with Zoot now and not looking back right now. Then two-piece tri-kit, it's serviceable. Like I said, I use it more for my training, but on race day anymore, I just use my one-piece tri-kit, and I'm good to go. It's not a problem. It's just super comfortable. I wear it the entire time. I've worn it for full Ironman races and not had a problem. It's super duper comfortable, not a problem. But the lower end is using biking apparel. Like I said, I would kind of shy away from it. I would at least minimum try bike shorts to make sure you got smaller pads so you can do the run in, so it's not as comfortable. And then, gals, like I said, as long as you keep a sports bra on, you might be able to do a change in transition. So maybe if you want to do a bike top and switch to a run top, 70.2 distance, I kind of see that. At a sprint to Olympic, maybe not as critical to change the top into a running specific top for comfort or anything like that. But that's kind of where I started. Like I said, I did my first 70.3 Ironman Kansas 70.3 way back in the day, 2006, 8, 9. I don't know. I have to look back. Did it in bike shorts and a bike jersey. It worked, but looking back and using what I use now, night and day difference on the comfort level and everything it does for me. The cycling shirts have the elastic on the arm bands to kind of suck it up a little bit and You don't have that with the tri suits anymore. It's just a night and day difference. So I would highly recommend going out there and trying tri suits. If you're just not willing to take that leap, at least go to the two-piece tri kits, shorts and top. I would seriously consider the ones with the longer sleeves because it reduces friction, doesn't make you any more overheated, gives you a little bit more protection on the sun rather than the no sleeve. But at the end of the day, get what you're going to get, use it in training, make sure you're comfortable with it and ready for it on race day. And we're all unique individuals, so what works for me may not work for you, but this is what I'm here to recommend for you as far as the 70.3 140.6 distance one piece tri suits, 100% all the way. Find the ones, if you don't use the Zoot Ultra suit that zips down front all the way now and opens up, then go out there and find somebody that does, because that's just the way to go. And that's what I would recommend. So if you got any questions, you want to know anything about the Zoot Ultra suits, like I said, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm always putting pictures up there, and you kind of see what it looks like and the functional I'm talking about. So, got any questions? As always, let me know, and I'll talk to you next time.